Hey guys, this is Hans Hobbies, and I'm here with my Tamiya CW01 cars. And I just wanted to talk about these cars a little bit because these are my absolute favorite cars that I have. I have, I do have modern cars like the Traxxas Stampede and ECX Brutus and like ECX Amp and all those kind of more modern basher cars. But I do really love my Tamiyas. Um, and these are definitely my favorite cars, and this one in particular. This one I got exactly a year ago from the day that I'm filming this video, and it's just been my absolute favorite car. This is actually my most prized possession because whenever I'm feeling sad, just take this one out into the driveway or to the park, and it's just really hard to feel sad after driving this car because it's just all of them are really nice to drive. Well, like really funny to drive. They drive really funny, but it's hard not to be. It's hard to be sad while watching these things just bouncing around and whining and popping wheelies and all that. It's just a lot of fun. So I'm gonna put these two down and start with my original one. So this one, uh, I gave it the name Ari because uh, one of my favorite drinks is Arizona tea, and I also really like the color scheme of that. And my favorite color is like kind of the minty colors, like mint blue, mint green, all that. So I decided to paint it that color, and also went with the pink because it also has the pink on the Arizona cans. And the bumpers and all these chrome parts are silver, like flat silver, because I originally painted them black. But I ended up not liking the look of all these parts black, so I went back and painted them with like chrome spray paint, but it ended up turning out like this silver. But I don't mind because this looks pretty good too, and it makes it look a little more vintage, even though this is a re-release. And you can tell it's a re-release because on the back, um, it says Tamiya.com instead of having the phone number on it. And also these taillight stickers are different. But overall, it's just I got like the Markiplier, the little mustache on the front. Um, the standard decal here. I didn't put Lunchbox across this because I didn't really like the look of that. But I did put it on the back and on the hood, as you saw. I did put the Xeon logo from Gundam on the roof just because I'm a big fan of Gundam and I'm a fan of all the Xeon mobile suits. As you can see here, my little collection of Zaku's and all that. DSM sticker because all of my CW01s would run DSM off-road bearings. They're really good bearings. They have marine grease in them, so they're fully waterproof, and they're pretty cheap for the Lunchbox. I think it's like $8 or $9 for the set, and they hold up really well and just really good bearings overall. And if you live in the Midwest like me, then it's good also to support a fellow uh, Midwestern people, I guess. Yeah. Uh, Proline vintage sticker, and then just the other regular stickers. Goodyear sticker from some other Tamiya kit, I think. So going into the modifications I've done on it, upgrades. It has full CVA oil shocks front and rear, so it doesn't have as much the pogo stick characteristic, and also rattles around a lot less, which I really like. It's fun to watch them bounce around, but the rattling can kind of get annoying. So and if you look underneath, I have lead weights in the axles to lower the center of gravity a little bit more, and also it makes it a little more stable. That's a modification I did on my Hornet and it helps a lot on the Hornet. And I just thought might as well do it on this because it shares the same transmission. And the more weight you can get down low on these things is good because they have hard plastic bodies. They tend to flip over quite a bit, and putting the lead weights in the bottom here, the wheel weights in the bottom here, kind of helps a lot with the flipping. You can also see here I have the Ampro rear suspension mount and brace. If I were to do it again, probably wouldn't get those just because I don't like how laid back it makes the shocks look. And also they don't actually do much except, I guess, look cool, which I don't think they really do. I was thinking because it would slant the shocks more when it was popping wheelies, it would make it more stable, which I'm not sure if it does or not because my other cars don't have it and they seem to drive fine. So that is an upgrade you can get if you want. I just put it on because I bought it and it doesn't hurt or benefit the car, so might as well get my money's worth out of it, I guess. What is a useful upgrade though is the Ampro transmission brace, this piece right here. It's really easy to install and it's only like $9, I think. So, and it keeps the transmission from slapping into the rear shocks and lets the rear suspension actually function like a suspension instead of getting extended and stop working. So yeah, that's a really worthwhile modification. Like, these trucks drive super well bone stock, but I would recommend the ball bearings and the transmission brace because those are kind of must-haves for this thing. The plastic bearings they give you are kind of crap. It's kind of widely known in the Tamiya community, in general RC community, that the plastic bearings suck. Like, I've run plastic bearings before, and they usually end up like melting or like wearing out, and also they significantly reduce your runtime. With the ball bearings and the standard electronics I have in this thing, these things run about hour and a half continuous running on these like 3000 milliamp little cheap little nickel metal batteries. So it's really a must-have. Other than that, I have Wild Willie in the painted up to match the car, mounted on the inside. These screws are part of what mounts it in. If I were to do it again, I might do it a different way because these are kind of ugly, but it's kind of whatever. And all of this is just from wear and tear because I do drive this car quite a bit. This car is really worn out and it's constantly being maintained, but that's just how it goes when you're driving it almost every single day. So here's the lights that I put in it. Just drilled a couple holes in the back, and then the standard light buckets in the front, and they're just on all the time when you power the car up. And to mount the Wild Willie, I just used this like battery tray part from the M chassis cars because I had a bunch of those laying around, so I just screwed that into there and then screwed the plastic part into the door, and then made it more stable by mounting his head onto the roof again. So this driver doesn't move, which is good because this car rattles around and bounces around a lot. Also on this body, I did crush this A-pillar and this window frame because I took it on a jump and this section hit the edge of the concrete on the sidewalk and just completely crushed it. So that's just put back together with super glue and reinforced on the back. And it seems to be holding up pretty well. I did buy a new glass windshield part for it though because this part's cracked up pretty bad. This coming onto the inside, this one has the front and rear chassis braces, because especially in the front it really needs it, because this part of the chassis likes to flex a lot, but this really helps keep that stable. In the back I got it um, to hopefully keep it more like stiff while it's popping wheelies, so it's more stable. I'm not sure if the rear does much, but I have it there again because it doesn't seem to hurt anything. I have the aluminum body mounts on this. I have the standard TBLE02S speed control that came with it. I have a DSM2 just Amazon receiver, like Spectrum receiver. It's cheaper than the Spectrum branded ones, and it still works with my DX4S controller. And for servo, I have the waterproof Metal Gear like Amazon like servo. I have for most of my cars, like even my crawlers run it, and the black edition also runs it. This one doesn't, just because I ran out, and this one just running a Futaba servo. But besides that, it's just, you know, the lunchboxes are pretty simple. So coming on to the black edition, this one is not modified as heavily. This one sees the same servo, same ESC, but it has a Red Cat receiver, just because I had that laying around. It has the same transmission brace, and the lead weights, and the torque tune motor, like the other one. And the CVA shocks in the back, but not in the front, just because I wanted to see how it would drive like this. It does have the aluminum body mounts, because these break all the time if you have the plastic ones, because they're real stiff and kind of garbage. Has the same DSM off-road ball bearing kit, and this one doesn't have the rear trans brace because you really don't need it, like I said. And I think I'd like it better like this. So if I were to build another one, I would just leave it like that. Nothing really much to say about that one. And then this one is my Midnight Pumpkin that I painted up in this mint blue color. This one was originally the chrome metallic version, but I didn't really like the look of that, so I ended up painting this one up. The holes on the top, these extra body holes, are because I originally bought this to use the body for M chassis project, but that ended up falling apart, so I just put it back on this car and painted it up. I think it looks pretty good. I might redo the bed in black or like a wood trim to make it a little cool, and maybe some decals, like the stock decals, to give it more graphics on it. But besides that, see, it's the metallic version. And this one, so the black edition I have was the originally the Midnight Pumpkin chassis that I got with this. This one was another Midnight Pumpkin that I got from eBay, all broken. It was part of like a garage sale deal thing. So I just fixed it up with whatever like extra parts I had. So I had this older TEU 101 BK speed control laying around, my older Tamiya kit, so I just stuck that in there. I had a Tower Hobbies just 2.4 gigahertz radio just hanging around, so put that in. This Futaba servo came with the car and it worked fine, so I just left it in. But besides that, this one's completely stock, other than also the ball bearings, same DSM bearings, and the Ampro transmission brace. But this one has the same pogo sticks on it. The only mod I did to that is I put rubber O-rings on these screws so they don't rattle as much, because the rattling is really annoying in my opinion. But yeah, that's a quick little overview of all my CW01 cars. I really like them a lot, and they're really good cars. I'll probably make more videos on them just because I drive them a lot and I like them a lot. So I hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.